There is a secret that many professional women are hiding, and that secret is I'm successful and unhappy. That doesn't make sense, but unfortunately, it's a very common problem. And if you're thinking, what's going on? That's exactly what I thought when I've been coaching tens of global executives, female C suite leaders, mission driven personalities. And this started me on my own mission to understand what exactly is going on. I'm sure that when you're watching this now, you may be one of those women who are trapped in unsafe work situations, dynamics that drain your energy, destroy your confidence. You might know women in those situations. There are millions of them out there. The question now, why? Why is this happening at such an extreme level? The shocking truth is that most women never report these violations. The groundbreaking studies, particularly those relating to harassment and violence, show that 23% of people experience unsafe situations at work, whether that's psychological or otherwise. If you're experiencing this, you're not alone. Think about it. How many times have you gone home feeling small, questioned your worth, maybe laid awake at night replaying a situation where somebody compromised your identity, your values, your feelings were really let down? In the latest studies by McKinsey, this shows that women are twice as likely to experience microaggressions. And this can have devastating impact on their career life, their emotional and private life. Even we take our work home with them often. So microaggressions actually have a macro impact on the lifestyle that we're able to have that's ideal. The traumas don't stay where they happened. Because now this is such a widespread issue, we have to really question, surely there are systems available to protect us. Why are they failing us? Now, this point has been a real issue of contention for me. And first of all, let me introduce myself. I am Jan Dowdy. You might be thinking, who am I? Why do I need to listen to me? I'm a master's degree journalist, psychologist, and communication strategist trained by Cambridge University. And this year alone, I've been nominated for 3 awards regarding the work that I'm doing in redefining leadership as safe space management. For me, the work that I've done over the last year is really, really critical for improving the lives of women in their communication strategies. And particularly, I'm helping women learn self advocacy skills. I really do believe that this is the key thing that's missing, where people will fail you. Women need to speak up for themselves and have the actual communication tools to say what they mean what they say, without being mean. There's a huge problem in this. They need to do this work of self advocacy skills so they can thrive and not just survive. So, the last 18 months of my investigative journalism, much of it undercover actually, it led to a number of disturbing things that became very apparent in my work. When I ask CEOs and organizations, how do you handle safe space needs? If I was to work with you, if I was to join your program or whatever it is they had to offer, their responses were frighteningly dismissive. And some of the main answers I got were the following: everyone is happy here. Well, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be happy there. Another response would be, we follow the laws available in our region. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be protected by those laws because, as we know, many people are still violated. Or worse, we don't know what you're talking about. Now, that's clearly problematic. If I want safe spaces and I need that to thrive and not just survive, people need to know what they're talking about if they're in leadership positions. So, over the 20 years of educational experience I've had, coaching hundreds of women who've been shattered by toxic environments and safe space violations. I used to actually coach and train migrant women and children displaced by war specifically. So, with the most vulnerable people, I now write up working with the most privileged people in the world leaders, and people who have positions over hundreds or thousands of people. One of my clients actually developed a speech disorder. Her situation got so bad. Another one of my clients had really serious relationship problems with her husband and her child because she was taking the problems with her from her workplace to her home. Anxiety, people going on medication. I'm a psychologist from my first degree as well, and I studied the biology of behavior. So toxic culture will actually have a physical impact on you when your hormones, stress hormones, are stimulated for too long. Now, these stories could easily be my story. Maybe it is already your story. The question now is, when you're listening, do you have the skills to cope with? It's not even a question of if you might have your safe space violation anymore. It's a question of when. And are you ready to know and manage these hard truths that we're living in? The fact is, your talent, your qualifications, your potential mean nothing if you're constantly in survival mode. Science has proven that when your safe space is violated, your body enters a chronic state of stress. This triggering response is actually in the form of fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. These are survival responses, and I train in how to manage these responses. These responses are automatic. It's often the reason why we think back to a scenario and we realize, why didn't I do the thing that I was supposed to do? Or why am I not my normal self when I feel under attack? That's the reason. It's your survival responses that destroy your frontal cortex ability to think straight. Your instincts kick in and your energy is drained. You feel tired, exhausted. That's why you can't function at the best, whether it's work or even home or social life. But this is what nobody tells you. My research led me to understand three critical mistakes that people often make in the survival responses, and I'll draw your attention to this bit of information now. Often, people rely on policies around them to help them get through a problem. Now, policies won't be available for every single possibility. Often people rely on other people. They hope that, oh, you know what, somebody might know that I'm having a hard time, they'll step in. No. Bystander apathy is a real thing, and you might find yourself all alone. And the third thing that often is the case with the women I've looked at and studied, they don't even know what their safe space needs are. So they accidentally come across something and then they realize, oh, I should have thought about that. My fact that I wanted to have kids, or the fact that I'm having certain physical challenges, or the fact that I need a certain work environment. It's too late then. You need your own safe space plan so that you're aware of your needs and can communicate them in the relevant timescale. That is why I created a revolutionary framework, and that has helped so many women reclaim their voice and create unbreakable skills to secure the safe spaces for themselves. I am testing these methods and have now certified the world's first safe space strategist, which I hope to embed in organizations. If any organizations would like to be elevated in their leadership dynamics and be safe space supported, I have now a B2B program available for that. And I have an individual empowerment program where women can learn self advocacy skills. And those organizations should really be training people inside their teams so that they know how to advocate and be empowered to thrive with their needs spoken about clearly. These women leaders who are safe space strategists, they are the world's, I would say, vanguards. They are the flagship example of what leadership should be. And as I've said, I am redefining leadership as safe space management. It isn't about ROI, it isn't about getting to the goal. Leadership isn't about being able to inspire, because if people get to the goal and they all need therapy, that's not very inspirational. This style of managing your safe space as a leadership mindset moves people from beyond mediocre. You are no longer isolated when you can self advocate. You are no longer silenced, suffering alone when you self advocate, watching your dreams slip away. That is the power of self advocacy skills for an individual. And for an organization that has an empowered team, that is going to be exponentially beneficial to you reputationally, for you in terms of reaching goals, and for your sustainability as an organization. So, I'm sure you know for yourself, and you know other women trapped in the toxic success, sort of balancing success and stress. You know that this is a very real issue. I see your potential, I see your struggle. I'm here to support you. And I've now got a platform where you can transform your situation and get something beyond just struggling on your own. I've got now an invitation for you to join my free safe space support group. A lot of women kind of battle on their own, and that just makes the situation worse. They don't have resources at the moment. My programs are not embedded in institutions yet. So while these measures are going out globally, I invite you to join my safe space support group. There'll be a link around this video in the comment section or in the main body of the text, and click on that link. I've also got a book available, free book for you to download in my support group. You can ask Q&As. There's questions that I will answer for you if you're struggling with something in particular, give you some advice. There'll be other ladies there. And there's also a free training, and I'll be uploading more free trainings in the learning portal in that. So with the studies that I've done, it's very clear that a woman, you might be thinking, oh, Jan, I don't really need another group, and so many groups that I've joined. Well, let's think about this. When you're in prolonged survival mode and your safe space is violated, it can take up to 2 years for you to reset your nervous system. That's 2 years when you weren't functioning optimally. That's 2 years where your relationship may not have been the best. Your children may not have had the greatest version of you. That's 2 years when you could have been better in your business. There's too much to lose for you to battle things on your own. And that's why I put this together, so that women can get out of these situations faster. I'm just so tired of seeing women having their lives stolen by toxic environments. It's really heartbreaking to see what it does to highly intelligent, brilliant women. So the trainings will give you awareness of how to take your control back. My safe space group will give you access to me directly and other women in a like-minded community to connect. It is for females only, so in that regard, it's a safe space supported by other women. Click on the link, as I've said, and remember, your safe space isn't just about surviving and getting by in the day, which is what most of us do, unfortunately. It's your right to thrive and not just survive in every area of your life. This is your moment. Take action now. Self advocacy communication skills is the missing link in your life. Click on the link. I hope to see you inside the group, and you're welcome to invite and join people that you might feel benefit from this group. Your future self will certainly thank you for taking action today. This is what you need in 2025 or whichever year you're watching this. Register now. I'm planning to make this a paid group at some point. So join while you can. And this is really an invitation for you to create community for yourself and have unbreakable safe space skills.